Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Monday. Welcome to another show. I'm laughing really hard because I forget to change the. Actually, I forgot two things. The first one that bothered me. I need to reposition that camera. There we go. Second thing that bothered me a lot. Well, actually, a lot of stuff. I'm not ready this week. Like, am I usually ready? I don't know. This week is like worst. There we go. I'm less overexposed. I still forget to change the overlay in OBS. And I'm late because I needed a coffee. So, if you enjoy a coffee like me, welcome. It's a new brand. Something was on sale at Costco, and I decided to try it. So, I got to keep an eye on the chat. What's up, everybody in the chat? First, I want to say thank you for everybody who's listening in playback of this live. A lot of you guys, actually most of you guys listen in playback. I really appreciate it, the fact that you take time off your day to join us and talk about a console, about pretty much everything else. Actually, last week, because I was really busy and I was on my way out to a show, not a show, it was a filming, but still we were faking a show. So it's good to be, let's just say it's good to be back in the basement, good to be back in the studio, and I'm so rushed right now. You guys have no idea. For somebody who can't work because I'm doing a live show for a living, I'm mixing live band for a living. For somebody who can't work, I'm really busy. As you can see, I took a little bit of sun because I'm working outside, I'm working on the house, I'm working on my RV. The RV is done. Thanks. I was supposed to do like a weekend makeover of the RV. It took me a week and a half. Now I'm doing the house, redid the bedroom in the basement. Now I need to finish one more room, and I will have to wait because we're closing a door on the house. From a door going outside, we need to put concrete in there, and I'm hiring a contractor for that. There's no way I'm gonna build myself concrete walls, like a foot thick concrete wall. No. So once he's done, I will have to work again. But still, I'm working. I'm also working on video stuff now. Apparently, because in 2021, when you know how to edit the video like I do for here at YouTube, you can be hired to do like small video work around. So a friend of mine gave my name to a city nearby, a small city. It's not the huge thing, but it's a small city and they have small budget. And because I'm not a video expert, I can work with small budget, and I'm basically a video editor now. 2020 and 2021 are full of surprise. Okay, we wait the usual 5 minutes. Are we 5 minutes in? Close to that. What's up, guys? First, if you are in the chat, say hi. Like the video if you have the option to. Like the video, and how's it going? What do you guys want to talk about this week? I'm available for you to pick my brain, to check out the console. Actually, this week I've been a good boy, and I redid my MIDI control for my stream because, as you can see, my camera angles just switch. I'm using that in OBS. I'm using MIDI control in OBS, and I needed to program my outro scene because last week I ended up not having my outro scene program, and I looked like a fool. Actually, not last week, 2 weeks ago. I end up looking like a fool because I was looking for a button to push to end the stream. I had not. So we're gonna call this one out and stop. And if I'm pushing this button, the stream will end. So apparently if I accidentally press the wrong thing, it's gonna go out. Maybe I'm gonna change that. Maybe I'm gonna change the placement of this button on the console because it's right over my console view. Maybe it's too close to danger. Anyway. What else? It's funny how people don't join the stream like early on. It's maybe the time that you get the notification, but usually I start the stream like that and pretty much nobody is here. Let's be honest. About 100 of people watching those stream live and in playback, and around like 10 people are here. So, hey, Neshil, how's it going? Around 10 people are here during the live stream. I'm really happy with that. I'm happy to be with you guys. And you guys join late. So I end up in the beginning of the stream with nothing to talk about because you guys are not there yet. You didn't show up there. And when it's time for me to leave, questions just keep on piling. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got to go, but I have to answer this. So it's funny. Anyway, I got a coffee. It's been a long time since I've put my hand on the wing. Last week I only did video editing for a client and working on the RV. So it's good to be back in front of a console. I think I still know how to use it. Hedeman, how's it going? Got a lot of good question and email this week. And okay, I'm gonna start with a question for you guys. Usually you are the one asking question, but I'm gonna start with this one. I see a lot of people who use the wing in studios. It's fine. I mean, this console have DSP to process a lot of things. It has a lot of possibility when it comes to control and automation. But something that I don't understand, and I want your opinion on that. If you are watching live, comment in the chat. If you are watching this in playback, put a comment below. Why would anybody limit themselves or force themselves to use the console processing? I don't get that. I'm a live guy, so maybe it's a studio guy thing, I don't know. But to me, when it comes to processing, I feel that there is way better stuff out there, like the wave process, like the wave plugin or anything else basically than the wing, because as good as this console can be, I don't understand why you want to use EQs and compressor that has no transformer reproduction, no uniqueness. Don't get me wrong, I like everything in there. I like everything in the wing. But if you have the option, I mean, how bad of a computer nowadays do you need to run to not be able to put 100 plugin on a session? I don't get that. So please, if you guys use the wing or use the wing processing in your studio instead of using plugin, leave a comment. I want to know why. I don't get it. Help me get it. Herman, how was the gig last week? It was fine. I tried to vlog it, but because what we did there is, sorry guys, just rushed my lunch in today, so like the usual, I'm gonna burp the whole time. I tried to vlog the whole thing, but because what we did there is not released to the public, nothing like the promotion campaign from this thing I'm gonna drive around the province because the promotion campaign is not out yet. I cannot show, and right now I don't have the right to show any image, or basically I don't have the right to talk about it, but I'm gonna keep it to what I said before and don't say much more. But honestly, it's not like any of you guys are competitors for me. I don't think anybody in Quebec watching this and as a mobile rig set up ready to compete, but still, in respect for my client, I don't want to give out any visual or setup idea that the client worked on, and I don't have the right to promote. So soon, I promise that I will keep you guys updated of what I do on the road this summer. Most of the time, I will be with a good friend of mine, a guitar player who's playing on most of the gig that I'm gonna do with that setup. So probably a lot of road footage, a lot of weird, funny stuff. It's coming. So, Cesar. Welcome, Cesar. From Herman. Something having less option boosts your creativity. Right, I agreed. But for serious studio work, I wouldn't use the wing for mixing. Yes, however, it's a great I/O hub for my... Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I would track all day using the wing for live monitoring and using my DL251 as preamp. I would track 64 input all the time with this thing if you need them, or whatever. How many input you have. I would do live band session tracking with the console, monitoring, and probably even do the mixing on it, but using the DAW function, not the console DSP. And DAW control, yeah, to look cool. Yeah, right. We're exactly on the same page as that. But I had people contacting me in private and asking me, like, how can I, like the video that I've released before, how can I use the channel processing of each input in my DAW? How can I record the output of the mixer in my DAW? And I'm like, well, I can tell you, because you can do it, but seriously? You want to print like your mix from the console? This is not an SSL, like analog stuff like Chris Lord Algae is using. It's a good console. It's gonna sound great. If your performance is good, it's gonna sound good. But I don't. Versus plugin, versus the option that you have of the wing versus the plugin, I would not limit myself using the wing, because once you print something to tape, to computer, to record with the wing, you're stuck with it. So honestly, I would just record dry preamp and mix everything in the box. How's it going, Rob? Welcome. Herman, okay. I'm gonna jump on that wagon. I feel dangerous today, so I'm gonna step on that. Actually, I'm gonna try to not step on that pile of with the 48K thing versus the 96K thing. Honestly, 48K is, I think, enough for most people. If you are not doing extremely hi-fi cinema thing where you have the control over your environment in the cinema room, and where you have the speaker to reproduce that stuff. I mean, if you are doing rock and roll band for people to listening into headphone, 48K is more than enough. Let's just say the Beatles did way more with way less, and they sounded good because the performance was good. So if you blame Actually, I need to do a video about that. Yesterday I was not able to sleep, and I was struggling with the idea of how much do people, hold on. I think I look a little bit far. There we go. How much people blame the gear for the lack of talent? I believe that in 2021, if you record something at home, and maybe everything except drums, because drums are an acoustic instrument and you are room dependent. But if you are doing vocal, if you are doing guitar, bass, which are probably DI, stuff like that, you have absolutely no excuse, and you can't blame the gear for the lack of good sounding. You either did not perform it well, or you did not perform it well. Because for really cheap, you can get a really good sounding bass. Like this is a $200 Squire used bass that I bought, and I put $150 of new pickups in it, and this thing can record anything. If I give this bass to some of my professional friends, they can get away do any kind of show and any kind of recording. There's nothing wrong with this, and nothing that, like the little sparky thing that you miss, it can be fixed in the mix. And I'm not talking about fixing performance. I'm talking about fixing tone. Everything is about performance. And I've learned that the hard way, trying to spend a lot of money on gear. At one point, I had $20,000 worth of 500 series preamp, API, Neve, 1176 clone. All that to realize that if I kick myself in the butt, I play more instrument and better, and I practice my vocal, I get better. I get better with the console preamp. So, yeah, it's not... Actually, Glenn Fricker, for those of you who follow him on YouTube, Glenn Fricker just released a video about your interface, your little Scarlett is not the problem. If you have a great performer with a Scarlett, you will have a great performance no matter what. I mean, you could record Bono. Not that I like you two actually, but you could record Bono, or yeah, I'm gonna go with a Canadian. You can record Celine Dion with an SM58 and a Scarlett, and you will have a great record-ready performance. Live, she sings in a 58, a wired 58. So if it's good enough for live, I'm pretty sure she could get away with a 58 in the studio. So is 48K enough? Yeah. If you tell me, it's the same thing like we said 2 weeks ago about the console. When is the console the weakest point in your chain? In studio and recording, when is 48K the weakest link in your chain? I mean, yeah. Performance. It's all about the performance. And the timing, and the playing, and that's it. Enough on that. Sorry. Cesar asked a question. Have you ever used the DAW remote with Logic? Not yet. I didn't mix. I did some mix last month for a friend, but not using the wing. I used everything in the box. It was a really small setup. It's gonna come out soon. I will keep you guys posted about that. We did some live, like real live filming and performing of Simon Morin, a friend of mine, actually a friend. Yeah, I'm gonna call him a friend because we've been working together for more than 12 years now, and I'm his full-time sound guy. So we became friends over traveling together for 12 years. Yeah, we did some live capture of him playing his song in acoustic, so small amount of input. It was not worth it for me to get the wing out because I had like 6-7 input most of the time. We did another one of those shooting with only a piano and a vocal, so 3 input, a left right of a piano, XY microphone in the piano, and a condenser vocal. So it's not worth it for me to bring the wing over to that. Oh no, I'm already out of coffee. So coming soon, I'll give you my honest opinion, but so far the comments that I heard about the DAW function are great. So Cesar, if you plan on buying the wing, if you have it, or you plan on buying this just as a DAW remote, I would not pull the trigger on it just as a DAW remote, but it's a cool extra feature. Dream Hamster Production, aka Rob, said internal oversampling in the wing effects will take care of most of the 48K limit. Yeah, but honestly, Rob, when is that seriously a problem? Like before we had 96K, everybody was recording DAT or ADAT, those really old machine with a. Sorry, I'm gonna just come back to this. We're not showing anything on a console. So you remember those that cassette player is basically like a VHS tape that you were putting in there, and that was limited to 48K. It's not tape. Well, it's recording on a tape, but it's digital tape. Limited to 48K with no oversampling, with probably really bad converter. And people have released #1 album with those things. Why? I mean, over the years, stuff is getting better. Stuff sound better. But why is this a problem now? How bad are you to just go out and pick on the fact that 48K is not enough for you? Tell me who you're recording with. If you are doing a comeback of Led Zeppelin, if you are recording with Metallica or Adele or Celine Dion, yeah, you have the right to ask for more than this. But if you try to do those band or artist with a wing, take the money that you spend on the wing and put it somewhere else. Put it on the mic. Put it on something else. I mean, this. I don't want to talk crap about the wing, but this is an entry-level console with really entry-level price. I'm gonna speak Canadian dollar here, so convert that to whatever works for you. But a $5,000 console. How much do you have for $5,000 of gear? Period. I mean, just a preamp in the back. The equivalent would be a XL48 from Midas, because this we have in the back of the console, we have exactly the same thing as you have in the 251. In a DL251 from Midas. It's exactly the same preamp. I did an A/B test and it's the same thing. So, just a single 8-channel of preamp from Midas like that worth around $8,000. Add to this a automated surface, that's another $1,000. You have so much. I mean, if the wing, people are gonna hate me for that, but I don't care. If the wing is the problem and the 96K or 48K thing is a problem for you, you bought the wrong product for your business. If this is the heart of your studio and the fact that you are limited to 48K is a problem, sorry man, you missed the boat there. You bought the wrong thing. Keep it as a mixing surface, keep it as a control surface for your DAW, and record with something else. Maybe monitor with it, or just don't use it at all. Sell it and get a... I was having this discussion the other day. Well, not this discussion, but I was commenting on a really cool YouTuber called Recording Studio Losers Recording Studio. Anyway, Jeremy over there, resident loser Jeremy, for those of you who knows. He was doing a live, and he was talking about having like all that gear in a studio. If you want something that's gonna impress your client, get an old Pro Tool control surface. They are on eBay for dirt cheap. It's gonna look like a huge console, but it's just like line input. You have no preamp on that thing, no conversion. It's just in and out. You got no EQ. It's just a control surface, basically. Yeah, it looks like a console, but it's just a control surface. So you have infinite encoder, and fader that you can assign to everything that you want in your DAW. Nothing that you can't do with a mouse, but if you want to have something that's gonna look really good and impress your client, buy that. You're gonna get that for $1,000 and you'll be set. And spend the rest of your money on 500 series preamp and spend most of your money on a converter, because, you know, converters matter, but again, if you don't have performance, this is what people forget about all the time: performance. Anyway, I feel really negative today. Well, not I feel negative, but I feel that I'm saying a lot of negative thing. I know I'm known to be a grumpy sound guy, but I don't want to be too dark. But let's just say, yeah, no. Let's go back to what Rob just said. I find the Wing to have the best Mackie MCU implementation of any hardware controller. Okay, yeah, probably. Okay, and he said oversampling works wonder with the saturation harmonic to prevent anti-aliasing due to frequency foldover. For natural sources, I don't find 96 key to be any advantage. I'm not really familiar with that stuff, honestly. I understand the mechanic behind it, but in my day-to-day application, I don't have the option. So I just, like, back in the day when people were giving me a Yamaha 01V, which is probably the worst digital sounding console ever. Actually, no, I think the worst digital sounding console ever would be the Yamaha Pro Mix 1. Because this was a digital console, but you have pretty much no advantage of using it over a analog board, and probably the analog board back in the day sounded 1,000 times better, even if you had less EQ and everything. But where I want to go with this is when people give me something to work with, because this is what I do. People hired me to mix their band, their corporate event, stuff like that. If people give me a 01V, still nowadays, I will still make the show happen. I will probably notice a difference between a really good sounding console, but honestly, I think I could probably get away with it and nobody in the room would care at all. And you should not. You should not care about that stuff. It's the same thing when people talk about the good old Line 6 pod, like the Red Bean. Everybody knows the Red Bean. If you ever seen a guitar player or record a guitar player, people complain that some albums were recorded with that stuff, and still those albums sold. Those albums made band popular, and somebody listening to that in his room or in his car cannot care less about how you record the guitar. Sorry. If you are doing a masterpiece, like if you are doing another Black Album or another Led Zeppelin sounding ish, or whatever that you feel that is the greatest album, Pink Floyd. I mean, if you were doing those like Dark Side of the Moon, iconic album, those albums were done with so much worse technology that we have today, and they still sold millions. If this is not, you try to blame the gear for something that is not his fault. Write good song, write good song with great performance, and nobody will care about that stuff. Nobody will care that you recorded your album at 44.1. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just put my console all the time, like, maybe I should put the console in 44.1 just to piss people off, because it's not gonna matter. I mean, yes, on the software side, on the mechanical side, it does change something, but not much. Especially for me, live. Live, nobody will care. Most of the time, I'm gonna go back on the debate that we had 2 weeks ago, where somebody would say, "Oh, 96K, you know, it's better for me," and I end up saying, "You know what? Mixing for me live, I need a dehumidifier plug-in, because this is my biggest issue. Doing a sound check at 1 in the afternoon with full sun, and having a show at 9:30 at night with only the moon, and weather has changed so much that nothing sounds the same. The sound doesn't travel the same in the air. So this is a bigger humidity and air change and temperature change is a bigger factor for me than clock rate or whatever. I mean, what I like about the Wing is the option, because I'm a huge fan of sidechaining and compressor and gate pretty much on everything. To me, having those options, that's gonna make a bigger impact on my mix than just like mixing at 96K, like I do with my Pro 2. Where I work, we have a Pro 2 and the DLT31 stage box, and yeah, I do mostly monitor with the Pro 2 because I needed back in the day a lot of output. Now I would take the Wing. Sorry guys, I love you guys at Midas. Until the place that I work buy a HD96, I'm gonna take the Wing from now on to do a lot of in-ear. But yeah, I saw a difference mixing on the Pro 2. Yeah, it sounds better. But is it the DSP of the console? Is it the preamp? Is it the clock? I don't see how the clock changed that much, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm stupid. And I'm really open to have any input from anybody who can explain me and not just yell that I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about. And if anybody have scientific knowledge to back this thing up, hit me up. Sorry, Rob. Uh, 44.1K may give you issue when doing audio for video. I'd rather downsample to 48K. Yeah. I don't know how that thing works. I know it's a thing like per frame. Sampling with 48K and video, but again, honestly, I think all my videos are done at 44.1 because I'm lazy. I just send out my wireless mic, my lapel mic. I just send the end of the receiver, the 1/4 inch of the receiver, straight into my camera. and I record sound with my Sony. The preamp is fine. I get a bit of background noise, but I think it has more to do with the lavalier than the camera preamp itself, because it seems, from what I did of my test, it seemed really stable and stuff. So I don't think it's going to change much. Until I wait for more question or stuff to talk about, I'm just going to say that, yes, guys, I'm working on some video idea. I'm writing down some stuff. I just want to say that I don't let you down. I don't want to let you down. I don't let the channel down. It's just that life is getting busy. Expect more vlogging video in the future. I will actually work with an X32 again this summer. So if anybody from the X32 group that I post these video on is interested in know what I do, or have question that I can answer about the X32. I still know those console. I still own an X32 core that I need to change, by the way. But still. Yeah, so I will do that this summer. More video about vlogging. I still need to do more video about the wing, but time and money is an issue here, and I need to spend my time making money so I can make no money doing this channel, because I'm still far from making money. I think I got a good news. Hold on. Let me check my stat here. I just crossed the line of 350 subscriber, not 1,000. I had 350 subs back. Thank you very much. Before I destroyed my channel, I had close to 600 or 600 people. I don't remember. We're slowly getting there. Based on my stat, I reach around 3,000 people overall, unique viewers. Most of you guys, less than 10% of you guys are subscribed to the channel. So it's my plug to say, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, do it now. That's helping me. That's helping me a lot. I want to get to 1,000. This is my next milestone. My next goal is to go to 1,000 sub, and I'll be honest with you guys, it's just going to give me a bit of money for what I do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to make much, because the way I seem to understand how YouTube is working is you get around $1 per 1,000 view on your video. So let's say that a video do 1,000 view, like my best video so far is how to deal MIDI with OBS. That's got 2,000 view as we speak, and that video would have given me around $2 minus the YouTube cut, so that will be back to $1. Not much money to be made here, but starting small is better than not starting at all. So this is my goal, reaching 1,000 subs, so that way I can make a little bit of money. If all those pennies together at some point will give me $100 check, and I can give it away at some point. I'm probably gonna do a giveaway of it, the first $100 check that I do. Anyway, I should actually, I want your idea on something. I want your opinion on something. A lot of people talk about, or were talking about, the Midas HD96, and this board to me is around 45 Canadian dollar, or 45,000. I was about to say, if you guys want an honest opinion about the console, help me reach to 45,000 subs, 45,000 people subscribing to my channel, and I will buy it. But I don't know if it's doable. Let me know. But I don't know. I'm just throwing out ID here. And actually, this is the beauty of these live streams. I know a lot of people watch them back. Thank you very much. And I just want to say that those lives are not made to be watched again. I wanted those live at the beginning. The idea was to really be live with you and reaching to you guys. So thank you for watching that again, but I do not think or do not thought that those videos will be watched back. So if not, I'm sorry. I don't give you a lot of good stuff today, guys. I'm tired. I still have video editing to do, and I still have life to do. But I keep my promise. I'm here every Monday, 1 o'clock time. Maybe I can ask you: is this time, wherever you are in the world, a good time for you? Should I do this a little later, a little earlier? Because most of you guys in Europe, it's currently, I'm starting those at 7. Is this too early for you guys? I don't know how I don't know what the life is over there. I don't know if it's your lunchtime, if you just finish work. I don't know. Do you guys finish it? Here in North America, people start to work from like 9 to 5. This is what we do every day from Monday to Friday. We work from 9 to 5, and after that you go home, have lunch, and sit on the couch until you fall asleep and do it all over again. Well, if you have a desk job. So, okay, thank you, Rob, for to say time is quite okay. I don't know if I'm questioning myself if I should do this a little later, like 2 o'clock for me, 8 o'clock for you guys in Europe. Shops are closing at 8 p.m. or hour 20, but 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. would be a better time, you think? I can try it. I mean, to me, it's the middle of the afternoon anyway. So do it at 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not going to change much. And I don't know if I have... Actually, most of my viewers are not American. Well, it's strange. When I look at my stats, it says that most of my viewers are American, but when I say American, I'm talking about the USA, United States. But they are only 25% of my people. So 75% of the people all around the world, for me, beat up the 25% of Americans. So I don't mind doing it for the rest of the world. I just need to figure out how and when mostly is the best way. So okay, so 7 seems to be a bit early. How is 9 o'clock? Is that too late? Is that like on a Monday, 2 o'clock will be too much for you guys because you can't really stay after 11? So if we go at this for over 2 hours, like when a new firmware get released, is that too late? Okay, today you start watching in the parking lot while you were waiting for your wife in the car. Okay. Okay, well, okay. I hear you guys. I will probably move that on to 2 or 3 p.m. So 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. for you. 8 p.m. will be perfect. Remind me, Herman, where are you located again? I don't think, to me your name sounds Spanish, but it's probably not. I know you told me before. But I mean, your name sounds Spanish, but yeah, you're in Germany. That's what I thought. Okay, in Germany. So okay, for you guys in Europe, you basically most of the people here are in Europe. So yeah, 9 is good as long as I keep the meeting within 2 hours. Yeah, you're from Spain. There we go, from Spain. But being a North American, I always think that you're Mexican. Sorry, man. But Herman Bosa to me sound Mexican, not Spain. But I know Spanish for Spanish. I know it's not the same kind of Spanish, but yeah. Okay, so expect next week at least to be 8 for you guys, maybe 8:30. So maybe 2:30 p.m. for me. Actually, that would work. Because, okay, this is a life thing going on right now. Every people who knows me know that I don't really wake up before noon most of the day. It's not true for now. I usually I'm currently waking up really early, but everybody give me appointments at 1 o'clock. And every Monday, since we start these video, I have to tell them, I'm sorry, I already have something at 1 o'clock and I can't do this. So maybe 2:30 is really good, or 2 or 2:30, because that will help me get my first meeting of the day done. Then I can run in the basement like I did today, try to set up everything in 15 minutes and get going. Yeah, Europe has several time zones. You're in the middle. Actually, I feel like I'm geographically stupid. I don't know how many time zones there is in Europe. Because in Canada, we only have, I think, if you look by the book, we have 5. But everybody has agreed to live on 3. So you have East Side, Center, which is not that big, and West Coast. But we don't, yeah, the time zone here is fairly large, and the country is divided in 3. So I never really looked up for you guys. Sorry. Back to sound question. Apparently this is what we're doing here. Herman Bosa, I have a band coming over this Friday, and they will bring their P16 to hook to the wing. He said, have you already shown how to connect the P16 monitor? Okay. The P16, I don't know if I really shown it, but I did an example of that a couple weeks ago. But I got the console in front of me. We're in console view right now, and I'm going to show you that. You absolutely need to have a DL stage box, like a DL32, DL16, to have Ultranet output. The wing doesn't have Ultranet output. So I don't know what stage box you have, Herman. But I think you told me once that you had a DL32. Could be wrong. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to assume here that you have a DL32. To connect to do actually the to connect the P16 to the DL32. Make sure that you're using AS50A, and on the output section of the console right here, when you set up your monitor buses and the P16, the first 16 output will be the 16 output physically in front of the DL, and 33 all the way to 48, this is your P16 output by default. You have, when you click on something, you have the option to use bus. So if you want to build them group or mixed bus and give them more input, let's say that you are really doing mixes for 4 people, 4 stereo mixes, and you give them 8 mono sources, you could do that. You can also give them 16 mono sources and let them deal their own mix. But everything that you have on the right page here, you can assign that to sorry, you can assign that to the P16 as long as you go AS50 A, B, C, or D, output 33 and up. This is how you connect them, or this is where you select the signal that you're gonna send to that, and those will be like 33 will be P16 input 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So yeah, the DL32, exactly what I just said. Yeah. Rolf, please announce the live stream a bit in advance, if possible. Yeah, sorry. Today I was in a rush. I just come back from the vet with my cat. Rushed down the basement. The cat just like was out of his cage, ran out somewhere, and I just like tried to hurry up because it was 12:30, and I had to set up everything. Like the console was not plugged in the wall. Lights were not on, cameras were not on. I had to change the lens on this thing right there. So yeah, sorry. I just went on Facebook, create the event, made it, accidentally start the stream. I had to redo everything over again because on YouTube, if you send signal to YouTube and you are in automatic mode to go live, it counts that as your event, even if you spend 1 second live. So I did a false start live stream and I had to run back, like reposting it on Facebook everywhere, like the usual. But please know, you know what? I will do it right now. Next week, for next week, I will program it right now at I'm gonna try 2 o'clock, so 8 p.m. for you guys. So you guys know if you watch that stream, next Monday will be 2 p.m. Actually, you know what? Let me check my schedule before I promise you something. What we have? Oh. Okay. Well, guys, change of plan. Next week, either no live stream or really early one, because I just realized that I have an appointment that will take me the whole afternoon, because I'm going out to get the truck that I was talking about, that I did last week. I was talking about that with the production, and I need to go there and do a lot of stuff, like update the X32 because it's still running firmware 2 point something. They just bought it new and it's an old one, so I need to do firmware upgrade on that. I need to do maintenance basically. Check out the XLR, make sure that all the XLR that I have in the truck are good, the phase are good, so I need to bring a cable tester, and I need to do that for everything, like checking out every mic. I have in-ear monitor and mic to check, make sure that they work, make sure that at least the first gig they're not on the same frequency. I'm gonna rescan them over there, but I need to check that, make sure that they work. So a lot of maintenance to do. Maybe I can try to vlog it, but probably no live stream next week or really early, but I'll let you know. Because if I do it after, I would do it like at 8 or 9 North America time. So that will be like 2 in the morning for you guys. Okay, Herman, how do you use the control on the top right corner of the wing? Do you think they are any useful? I saw a post on Facebook about that, how to use the top right section of the console. It's not, I don't think it's ready yet. And I think that video is gone, but I remember having a video where I was talking about that on the wing, where I said I don't understand the use of this section, the F1, 2, 3. what's that? It's pan, filter, comp, gate. I don't get how to use them to be really useful with those. Maybe if you have like your money channel, or your money channel is an expression for your lead singer, or whatever channel that is really important to have, like it's your main thing in your band. Like if you go see Bon Jovi and you can't hear John Bon Jovi, your money channel, there's something wrong with your money channel. Your money channel is the one that people need to hear, absolutely, and you need to keep your finger on it the whole gig. So if you have, let's say, your lead vocal in the right section, maybe, I mean, I'm gonna try to do this. Okay, let's try it. How do I put my vocal there? I just select, I press view, and can I change this in assign? No, this is where you change it. Okay. So I want this channel. Let's do it with my vocal. I just dragged and dropped on the console my channel to be where main 4 would be. So it's physically there. Now I gotta go back. Yeah, you can see it on view. I got my lapel mic there. And if I press on it, what are the useful information? I can have my gate, I can have my compressor input, because I think I'm using a distressor, right? Gate, yeah. So if I press comp, I have this. If I press comp a couple times, I have access to ratio, input and ratio are my two thing, and I can have on or off. Okay, filter. I have low cut, high cut when I press on it. The F1 is currently assigned to send. I don't know if I can change that. That could be cool. And I have pan and main, which is, pan and main is just width and the left right pan. Let me show you here. So you basically have that control, so you can pan. You have the width if you want to have a mono or not. Actually, my channel is mono, so I don't need any width, but I'm just gonna leave it at, whoa. I don't need to pan it. Where's the width? Okay. Okay, so these are the two control that you have access, basically. So the bottom one, so the pan and the width, which doesn't change anything in mono. Okay, so these are the options that you have on the top right corner of the console. It's useful to be quick about something, but my attention is so much on the screen that honestly, if I need to change something about my vocal really fast, I'm just gonna go on the screen and grab it. Like, it's probably faster. The user interface is really good. You know, if I need to change my compressor setting, I'm probably gonna press compressor, or maybe it should, when you press on the knobs, display the screen, or being an option that it will display the screen, or on the screen, the channel that you selected on your main section, on the right section, because it's the main by default, but it doesn't have to be right section. But yeah, if it could pop up that section, and you can have one knob and this screen, let's say when you press compressor. Other than that, I see no use for it, honestly. Back in the day, we were talking about having the little wing, or a smaller version, the wing, not the wing rack, but a smaller version, the wing compact. And I said ditch that whole part. Like, I could So far on the wing, if you take the custom control section that is on the right with all the assigned knob, you put it on top where the USB is, and you give me 12 fader with an extra bank of 4 from my main, I could live with that. With the screen, same size screen, I want my user control to be on the right next to the screen, on the left, sorry, next to the screen, and 20 fader. Is that 20? And 16 fader. I could live with that. No offense, I miss this. Come on, Rolf. Don't worry, man. I sent the question of German, yeah. Which one? Did I answer it? Sorry. I miss having an iPhone holder on the X32. Well, you see on top here, you can take your phone and go on top of the right. Right there, yeah. It's the wing. You can put it on the wing logo. It's bigger. It's bezel free, so it has no size, no limitation of phone. Just fooling around, guys. Sorry. Yeah, they could have used that corner for that. Yeah. Sorry, didn't read your answer before I start to fool around. Yeah. Use it should be like, you know, the way the display just pop up. It should be the same thing, but for your phone. You should have like a little stand that's, you know, just kick out so you can put your phone right there. That should be an option. Of course, they should add an extra phone charger. That would have been fun. Okay, we've been going at this for an hour. Not much action in the chat today. Well, my usual guys are here. Thank you very much, Rolf. Thank you very much, Herman and Rob. Always a pleasure to have you guys around in the chat. You guys have interesting question. You seems like cool guy. You know, you'd be the kind of guy that I would have a beer with. Actually, Rob, I owe you a couple of beer. Because, to do a long story short, for you who don't know, I was kicked out of the Wing user group, the bigger one on Facebook, because once my channel got deleted, I posted a video about it, say, hey guys, I'm back. I'm not gone. My video will be back at some point. Just resubscribe, and that was considered spam. Yeah. Anyway, so I got kicked out for that, and Rob helped me get back in that group. So thank you very much, man. I seriously owe you a couple beer. From Rolf, what do you say? Anybody experience with the Copilot app? I tried it this weekend, was not impressed. Disconnect frequently, maybe because of the loaded network. I didn't try the Copilot app yet. I know I should have tried it, but so far, no. So far, never had a chance to play with it because, like I said before, when I'm going out with the Wing, I want to use the console. I don't want to mix with an iPad as much as possible. And it was dropping out maybe because of the loaded network. You should, if you do that, I would suggest you to have like a good router only connected to the console, and do not have a dedicated Wi-Fi network for that. It's going to be better. I don't know, dude, from Herman, if you ever come to Munich, we can have a lot of different beers. I don't know, man. Is our German good with beer? We have, okay, on a serious note, I've talked about this before, but here in the French part of Canada, we have really good beer. I know we didn't invent it. We didn't perfect it. Well, maybe we didn't invent it, but some people here definitely have perfected. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to start a debate on beer, but we have really, really good one. And I'm not talking about Budweiser or Molson Canadian. That's not really good beer for us either. You should Google Oktoberfest. Yeah, never heard of that Oktoberfest. Maybe I saw an ad once on YouTube. Yeah, something like Oktoberfest. In all seriousness, I did a couple of Oktoberfest party here. Yeah. Actually, one summer I mixed 3 days of Oktoberfest. Probably not as big as you have in Europe anywhere, but here we had 1,000 people around. I think it was 300. I'm gonna call them dealers, but beer maker, brewery, people who made beer, basically. I had the opportunity to taste like around 20 of those before I just had to go back to my board. So basically I drank one beer in 20 different ounces of different brand. But yeah, no, honestly, we are really good here in Quebec about beer. We know our stuff. We like, probably our tastes are more European than Americans when it comes to beer. And if I can do a confidence to you guys, the worst kind of beer to me is what we call an IPA, an American Pale Ale. I cannot stand it. I'm a huge fan of beer from Belgium. I'm a huge fan of red beer. Some stouts, some black stuff. One day you should talk about drinking and mixture. Oh, dude, I have years of practice doing that. But I should do a serious... okay, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a note. Because when I was at school, I did study a little bit about the ear, the human ear. I'm going to just take a note. Hold on. Mix and drink. I got the note. It's in the list. It will be a video one day. But I will give you a short preview here. The human ear react to alcohol a lot. When you mix, or when you play music, or when you listen to loud music in the studio, live, it doesn't matter. Your ear adapt at some point. If it's too loud, your ear canal will compress to protect itself. And the first thing that goes away when you drink is that function on your ear. Even if you have one beer, your internal ear canal won't try to protect itself. It's just get numb. If you drink more than that, high ends get affected, low ends get affected a lot. And you lose the judgment of volume. So I see a lot of guys, like sound guy, and okay, I'm gonna go there. Sorry. Okay. Here in Canada, we have a Metallica tribute band that is called Alcoholica. Some of you guys may heard about them because they did some meet and greet with Metallica. I've mixed them once, twice. I did show with them. I subbed their sound guy once, at least. And the sound guy there, really good guy, mixed really well, but the guy drank a lot, or was drinking a lot. I think he's better. He's on the better track now. Really cool dude. Anyway, it's not where I want to go, but he mixed really loud because most of the time, he starts to drink at sound check at 3 in the afternoon. The band kick in, tribute band, the band kick in around 11 here. Drink till 3 in the morning. Do not drive. Thanks God. But the guy probably drinks 20 to 24 drinks beer in a night. And even if the guy's mix is really good, I had to tell him at some point, "Hey dude, I know it's a Metallica tribute, I know it has to be loud, but there's 500 people in that bar, you have a huge PA, and you're driving that to 115 dB. The guy was like, "I'm not that loud," but the first time he said it, he didn't even hear himself speaking, and he was like, "Oh, okay, maybe I'm running 115 dB. And I got the meter out and say, "Dude, do whatever you want. I mean, we don't have noise limitation here, other than common sense." But the guy was drinking, and he without knowing went really, really loud until at some point, I mean, your ear's gonna hurt. But okay, I'm mixing thing because I'm thinking while I'm speaking, and when I'm speaking in English, it's not a good thing for me to do. But anyway, just to say that mixing and drinking, not something that I recommend, even if I did it many times. Do it with result may vary. Do whatever you feel you should do, but it's affecting the way you're mixing, and it's give you false impression of low end, false impression of high end, and no idea at all of what's going on with the volume. Deal with that. Yeah, the wing is not good at mixing drink either, Rolf. Maybe if you change the fan, or maybe you know what? That little thing under the wing, this is probably where you should keep your drink, because you can light them up. Maybe how does it call? The burrito warmer could be also used to store drink. Okay, we're not talking about the console at all today. Okay, well guys, we've been going at this for an hour 15 now. Strange topic. I feel like basically we're having a beer together, so hope you like this. Hope you like that video. I'm gonna try to do a real outro this time. Show is done. Don't send me like 20 more interesting question, and I'm not gonna do an extra hour. So, ready? No more interesting question in the chat? Guys, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be with you on that Monday again. Video are slowly coming back. Until the next one, please, I'm not looking at the chat. Make sure that no interesting question came in. Until the next one, please, take care of yourself. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you didn't like that video yet, give it a like. Take care of yourself. I'll see you guys later. And I'm gonna try my new knobs. Is it working?